It's a pleasure for me to welcome you all at the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Fiji Development Bank and Fiji's Department of Environment. Let us get started talking about the significance of this MOU. Firstly, this MOU formalizes a collaborative approach to facilitate the submission of fundable climate change, adaptation and mitigation concept notes, and full funding proposals to the Green Climate Fund for financing consultation. Secondly, this MOU enhances the FDB's ability to integrate the environmental and social considerations into our decision-making and operations that will effectively manage environmental and social risks and impacts, therefore, improving outcomes. The MOU is also a step forward to make our products eco-friendlier. On this note, Honorable Minister, it is worthwhile to note that Fiji Development Bank's projects pipeline, under consultation with the relevant development partners, would require your ministry's experience, technical knowledge, and facilitation to make them environmentally and socially sustainable. So let me just try to do in a simple words. Our customer comes to FDB and does have a proposal which we think that it should be certified through MOE, Ministry of Environment and Department of Environment. So we will make that proposal, send it across to your ministry, get the technical aspects complete done. Once you give us the green light on that, then we move forward with that piece. What it does is basically make sure that yes, we are fulfilling all the requirements of the climate requirements, and making sure that all our products are being done in a much faster way. Rather than creating our own capabilities here, I think that it's very important to take the advantage of the already established capabilities in the ministry. Through this MOU, we are formalizing the partnership with the modalities of the cooperation in the areas such as climate change, environmental governance, sustainable energy and transport, which are electric vehicles, electric bus, and solar power, sustainable oceans, sustainable maritime connectivity and inter-island shipping, and data and environmental statistics. Minister, like the DOE, the FDB is committed to assisting the Fijian government's commitment to the various international agreements on climate change and sustainable development, therefore reaffirming the importance of this MOU. Fiji has advantages and potentials to grow despite its many challenges. This type of partnership contributes in our collective efforts to create a stable and sustainable economy to manage risk of climate change. I recognize the respective roles we play in Fiji's business sector and its socio-economic development. More importantly, we should ensure that we bequeath a safe and eco-friendly environment to those who we serve and to generations who will come after us. I take this great opportunity to talk about the agriculture and the hand-in-hand with the Ministry of Environment here, Honorable Minister. We at FDB, as you know, two main segments which we do business is, one is the SME and the other one is agriculture. And close to about 84% of our portfolio belongs to these two segments. And in that segment, we feel that we are the leading, not we feel, but we are the leading bank in Fiji today when it comes to the agriculture financing. Now with this MOU, I feel that yes, we can contribute a lot more towards the greener agriculture piece. My team over here is in process of developing a product whereby we can see that yes, if there is a farmer requires a tube well, and there is no electricity connection over there, how we can bring the solar panels and to work with this with the water wells and water pumps. Same bringing in the solar tractors and all that, whereby we bring into a package and invite our farmers to take the funding from FDB and to see that yes, we can work towards that piece. So there's a lot of stuff which is happening at FDB in terms of promoting agriculture, and now we are actually moving towards agriculture with this environment piece. So on behalf of my team, you know, as I can, I'm very proud of my team to work so hard on these sort of things. Some of these things have worked out, taken a long time in terms of putting it together. But today, it's a great occasion by signing the MOU. I think we are opening the doors for something which we'll achieve in the near future, a big success. Thank you very much for your great time. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here. I've been quite excited since the appointment of CEO Minam. someone who has got an extensive international, regional experience in development finance, to head our development bank. As Yamina mentioned briefly, the agriculture sector's slow development, one of the contributing factors was lack of development finance. The commercial banks collectively contribute only 1% of their overall lending portfolio to agriculture. And development bank has been our only hope to fast track the growth and development of the agriculture sector by accessing the pool of money that the development bank is able to raise. So, ladies and gentlemen, this morning we were at Cornevia Research Station, the headquarters of research of the Ministry of Agriculture, where we commissioned the first ever smart, totally automated nursery to fast track the distribution of seedling, particularly to the export crops to the farmers. Agriculture sector, as I said, was the main backbone of Fijian economy. But other sectors which extracted the surplus created by the agriculture sector grew at a rate much faster than the agriculture sector. While agriculture sector continued to grow, but the other sectors overtook the growth of agriculture sector. Over time, we examined what was needed to fast track the growth of agriculture sector and get agriculture to also play a very important role in bringing in the much needed foreign exchange. And in that, we examined the entire value chain, and we started to look at external finance. There are various pools of money with development partners, external other countries and other NGOs as well. And in that entire equation, we were able to get a lot of money from outside to for specific projects in this entire value chain. But today we were able to commission, Honorable Prime Minister was there to commission a smart, fully automated nursery will support the key export crops which require seedlings to fast track. As you know, from 2020, agricultural exports have overtaken sugar. Non-sugar commodity exports have taken sugar. Sugar 2020 was 101 million. Non-sugar fresh and chilled produce was 106 million. Last year, sugar further went down, whereas non-sugar agricultural commodities went to $121 million, led by kava 42 million, dalo 32 million, ginger 21 million, turmeric 21 million, ginger 12 million, and then we've got other sorted vegetables and poultry products. So interestingly, the new crop on board is turmeric, $21 million last year. Amazing. And all of these crops, we are not able to fulfill the demand, particularly ginger, turmeric, kava. So we have a long way to go. Our target is in next 9 years, 10 years from last year, to get agriculture exports to $500 million after feeding the entire nation. But one of the threats, one of the binding constraints is how to deal with issues of climate change. And agriculture sector is at the forefront of being affected by climate change. We're losing arable land along coastal areas. Large portion of the arable land that we're utilizing is along the coastal areas, and some of the areas are now not suitable for agriculture, and we need to access funds to see how we could protect this arable land as well as the communities living around the coastal areas. In the early days, our communities in Fiji settled around coastal areas and rivers because they saw that their lifestyle, the tradition, the culture was intrinsically linked to the coastal area, to the rivers and waterways. But little known to them, they didn't realize that in some point in time, this very source of their livelihood would become a threat to them. Now the coastal communities are in desperate need for support to protect them. And these kinds of funding coming through a certified financial institution, probably the only certified financial institution in Fiji, is a great help to those who would want to secure funding to protect themselves. Waterways and Environment is doing a lot in terms of protecting the communities, the vulnerable communities around the coastal area, but we are far behind because of basically lack of finance. On our list now, we've got 103 seawalls that we need to construct. which will protect about 160 villages, meaning maybe or 2 or 3 villages will be protected by one seawall because they are side by side. So about 160 villages need protection, and it requires construction of 103 more seawalls. Number of rivers are subject to riverbank erosion, and that needs to be protected. The largest project at the moment that we are doing is the riverbank protection work is Mahendra River and Ba. And that place has lost close to 100 acres of arable land washed away. And you name any river in Fiji, Nawa River, Reva River, Ba River, Singotoka River, if you have driven up either Singotoka River, if you've driven up to KS, you would have noted that. Nawa River, if you've taken a fiberglass boat up, you will see how riverbank erosion is occurring. So, ladies and gentlemen, we, the Ministry of Agriculture, Waterways, Environment, are working very hard. Environment is a regulator as well as facilitator, and I was pleased to note that FDB wants to outsource the environment diligence aspect to environment. There you go. At a quarter of the cost, we will do it, CEO. Smart move, Excellency, CEO. So today's signing of the MOU signifies to us the threshold of the momentous opportunity, an opportunity to extend our efforts to broaden and quicken the outcomes of the climate commitments that we have made in the past, and also through our leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, who was the COP23 President. Through this MOU, as alluded to by CEO Minam and PS Wycliffe, we will be able to assist the Development Bank, of course, without any financial requirement, to execute and undertake the due diligence for the environment component, and ensure that no development project is undertaken which will affect the environment and jeopardize the quality of biodiversity in the longer run. I think that is the minimum that is required of us. Over the last 2 years, we have seen developers coming in using COVID-19 as an excuse to fast track and probably waive some of the environmental requirements. But in the longer run, I think we need to hand over the environment and our natural resources in the manner our forefathers did to us, to the future generations. So we're very mindful of that. And I think it's not an easy place to be, to balance between the growth and development request, and as well as our role in terms of protecting the environment for the future generations. So, ladies and gentlemen, CEO Minam, we are pleased to preside over the signing, and we're happy to, as PS Wycliffe has said, to provide a gold card service to any submissions that comes from your bank. Thank you, Naka.